Assalamualaikum, good morning. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum jami'an to all of the audience in this hall. Today in this hall, in Kawaizmi Hall, as a moderator today, my name is Aiman Fitri bin Kamarudin. We will discuss on the topic of amanah in online retailing. Basically, we will have two sessions to discuss on this topic. The first session we will discuss on the causes of this issue. The next session we will discuss the suggestion to overcome all of this issue, all of these causes that have been mentioned. For not wasting of time, on my left, Al-Fadil Ustad Ahmad Zaidi bin Zakaria, the speaker for Jakim. Assalamualaikum Ustad.
Waalaikumsalam.
Our second panel, Mr. Ahmad Zikri bin Ahmad Zawawi, the founder of Persatuan Peniaga Online Islam. Assalamualaikum Mr. Zikri.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And our last panel, Professor Muhammad Izzat Zakwan bin Muhammad Zainuddin, the professor from Kuliah Ekonomi for the International Islamic University Malaysia. Assalamualaikum Professor. Proceed to our discussion. Islam has prioritized the believer to have amanah when doing anything. Allah had mentioned in Surah Al-Anfal verse 72. Imam Ibn Kathir had interpreted the ayah. He said that Allah had offered the amanah to the heaven, to the mountain, and to the earth, but they do not dare to accept the responsibility, not because they're afraid of it, not because they want to not to obey Allah, but they're afraid of they could not fulfill it. But Adam, the mankind, accept it because whoever fulfill this responsibility will be rewarded. But if otherwise, we will be punished. My first question to all of the panel: what are the causes of this issue? I will give this floor for our first panel, Ustaz Zaidi, to discuss more on this issue. Tafadhal.
A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabbihi ajmain. Thank you to the moderator, Brother Aiman Fitri, for letting me to continue on our discussion on today's topic, which is amanah in the online retailing. I think this topic is quite interesting because internet becomes a priority nowadays. So especially on our topic today, we discuss on online retailing. So internet become the main sources that people buy on the online internet. So the first causes that raised in this issue is there were no complaints or reports that have been raised to the authority from the customers towards the online seller that were lying. So this usually happens because they are lacking of knowledge. The user are lacking of knowledge about the procedure on how to report this problem towards the authority. So some customers also do not know their rights on the retailing. So they are neglected and abandoned these problems. So if this problem is continuously going to happen, it will make the online seller to boldly commit fraud and keep on repeating the same problems. Hence, more customers will get cheated on this. So we do not want this problem is going to happen anymore. So we have to find a suggestion, find a solution to solve this problem. So I think that's all from me. I will proceed to the moderator.
Thank you, Ustad, for a little bit on this topic. Next, this floor will be passed for our second panel, Mr. Zikri, to give this opinion. Tafadhal.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to the moderator. For further discussion, Allah has mentioned about amanah in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 283. The meaning of this ayah is, if one of you entrusts another, then let he discharge his trust. This can relate with our topic today. So the second cause for the online business issue is the online seller does not obey the business ethics. We need to bear the consequence, as online shopping is quite risky because we are dealing with virtual seller or scammers. We could become a victim of fake e-commerce sites. This statement was reported by Minister of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, Datuk Seri Saifuddin Ismail, in Sinar Harian. He said that e-commerce is a good business trend and should not be restricted, but it has certain implications, as online trades are not bound by healthy business ethics. There are a ton of cases that involve the deceptions in online selling, such as the consumer did not receive their purchased item and the online seller will raise the price from the actual price. So, how about your opinion? Is that, Professor?
Thank you, Mr. Zikri. Okay, in my opinion, nowadays credit card information is easily being stolen without a single trace. Most victims don't find out that their credit card information has been stolen until after they have been used. For instance, thief can steal your information by breaching a company where you have used the credit card. Other than that, the thief use a credit card skimmer. Credit card skimmer is a small device that read the magnetic strip on the credit card. The thief will secretly put the device into ATMs to retrieve the information captured. The thief can also install malware on your computer from via email attachment or other software like a virus. The software will monitor your keystroke and take screenshot of our online banking page and send the activity to the thief. That's all from me, and I will pass the floor to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zikri and Professor Izzat, to elaborate all of the causes. Lastly, when we surfing on certain website, there will be a pop-up where lead users to a fake website. This problem commonly known as phishing scams, where users tend to click on certain link which will redirect them to suspicious website. This fake website sometimes will offer absurd price and will attract visitors to boldly buy the product, although it is not real. Whilst government to MCMC advise users for not click on suspicious link, but hackers had other tricks, although the users not click on that suspicious link. The hacker will hiding the URL using a legitimate wording or by misspell the URLs. This means that the link has a name of, for example, the link is www.maybank.com. Although to spell the link said Maybank, but maybe the word A is not the real A. So this is how the hackers use a legitimate wording or by misspell the URLs. Or much harder for users to detect is called IDN spoofing. My advice for users should be aware when clicking users should aware when clicking something on the internet. But not only the consumer experience this scamming, but also the seller. Based on the review of complaints to the Better Business Bureau Scam Tracker, this problem also encountered by online sellers who frequently using online payment. They need a way to receive payment without leave empty-handed after the good has been delivered. When the seller had delivered an item, but the buyer not give the money yet, so the item has been delivered but the seller did not receive the money. To overcome this problem, they need a system where the fund does not transfer to an individual or suspicious bank account but to an official bank account of the seller. Nowadays, developer had invented lots of payment services such as PayPal, Apple Pay, Boost, Touch and Go e-wallet, or JomPay, where they covered our safety when transfer fund away from scam. By this invention, we could use this technology without worries when buying goods online. So the buyer receives the item, the seller receives the money. Ustaz Zaidi, okay, next, Ustaz, I will give this floor to Ustaz Zaidi, where he will discuss more to overcome the causes that been mentioned. After that, Mr. Zikri will also give his suggestion to overcome this problem. Tafaddal Ahi.
Thank you, Brother Aiman Fitri, and again you are with me on our further discussion on how to overcome the causes for this problem, for this issue. So, as mentioned in Surah Al-Anfal verses 27, Allah said that, "Oh, you who have believed, do not betray Allah and the Messenger, or betray your trust while you know the consequences." Allah warned us to not betray the trust. So, in order to overcome this problem, each user need to obtain sufficient information or the details on the items and services that will purchase. So this is because lots of customers are taking for granted about the purchased item without asking the details about the prices, warranties, or the procedure on how to use the product. So users need to know the rights of the information or the buying products. So by getting enough information, customers can use the information given as a proof to complain or report to the authority. This is important. You have to note this. Take note. So to complain to the authority in case the item received are not the same as described. This can help us from being trapped into their trick, and at the same time can ensure the online sellers not to repeat the same mistake. Thus, it can reduce the number of customers that will be cheated or become the victims of the greedy and irresponsible online seller. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you to the moderator. In my opinion, one of the suggestions for the online business issues is establish biz trusts that play a role to register each company in business. This suggestion was taken from the Ministry to the Companies Commission of Malaysia, SSM. As such, consumer can check whether the transactions carried out with the company is secure based on the biz trust rating recorded on the company profile in the SSM record. Another initiative taken by SSM is to address the problem to increase the amount of fine imposed by the Malaysian Consumer Claims Tribunal (TTPM) to RM50,000 from RM25,000 previously. Thank you.
Thank you, Ustaz Zaidi and Mr. Zikri for elaborating the causes. For elaborating the suggestion. I agree with Mr. Zikri where he mentioned about building a biz trust, so we could avoid the registered scammer to scam other users. For the last suggestion, let's hear with what our professor want to talk about more about this topic. Tafaddal, Professor.
Okay, thank you to our moderator, Brother K. Okay, to prevent online fraud, users can use payment gateway that use artificial intelligence to monitor all the movement of our account. Okay, payment gateway is an e-commerce software that authorizes payment for online business. It is a third party between merchants and customer that secretly take the money from customer and send it to merchant's bank account. Payment gateway encrypt sensitive information and details of payment to make sure the information is passed safely. About how payment gateway work is step 1, the customer will place an order on the website that they visit by submitting the order. The second step, merchant securely transfer order information to the payment gateway. Customer will pay with their preferred payment method. The transaction is then routed to the issuing bank or the 3D secure page. Step 3, after the authentication process successful, the transaction is then authorized or declined depending on funds available in customer account. Step 4, payment gateway will send a message to the merchant accordingly. And the last step is the bank settles the money with the payment gateway, and then the payment gateway settles the money to the merchant. Okay. By using payment gateway, it is guaranteed that the information is passed securely between the customer and the merchant. Okay. Lastly, we as Muslim, we must make sure we did not lie to each other, because it is sign of hypocrite. Just like what hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah, the Prophet Muhammad SAW said the sign of hypocrite are 3. Whenever he speak, he tells lie. Whenever he is entrusted, he prove dishonest. And whenever he promise, he break the promise. That's why we must never become the hypocrite, and we must prevent to lie to each other. Okay, that's all from me. I will pass the floor back to our moderator, Brother Kai. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor, for discuss more about the suggestion. But I want to create something. But to pronounce my name is not Kai but Ki. Jazakallah to all our panelists today for deeply explain of this topic of amanah on online retailing. We hope after this forum, audience and us will not anymore to be scammed and always be alert when doing any online transaction. I apologize for any flaws or mistake that have been doing by us, by our panel, by moderator and panels along this forum. Thank you. Terima kasih. Syukran. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.